on the second floor of the tower. Is this the second layer of the world? The ancient martial sovereigns sure knew how to have fun. Also, this seawater feels a bit sticky. I am the riding wind martial sovereign, and here I created the azure wave realm. Those of later generations who pass through here will have a chance to temper their movement techniques. The fated ones may even inherit the body of the wild wind. I've heard of the riding wind martial sovereign, renowned for his incredible speed, said to move as fast as a flash of light. But that should have to do with wind, right? What does it have to do with water? As Xingchen walked forward, unaware, the water slowly rose and swirled around his legs, wrapping tightly around his legs and forcing him to kneel down on the surface. Didn't she say the restrictions on me were already lifted? I was under 300 years old when I fell, even counting this life. I shouldn't be over 350. Maybe they're counting the 3,000 years you spent asleep into your age. Perhaps if you kneel long enough, you'll just get used to it. This water's resistance is about 50 times that of regular water. 7 Mystic Light Break. The sect leader launched an attack toward the water, but it was slowly absorbed, dissipating into nothing. It also absorbs any external spiritual energy. Looks like in this realm, spiritual power can only be used directly on ourselves. The first trial, by the great wilderness martial sovereign, was clearly about body training, fitting since that was his cultivation path. Then the riding wind martial sovereign's trial must also be related to speed. But with water above and below us, how are we supposed to test speed? Are we supposed to dodge some kind of attack? Suddenly, a giant fish emerged from the water, charging at the sect leader with its mouth wide open. Seeing this, the sect leader quickly reacted, dodging the attack and countering with one of his own. However, the fish's scales were both hard and slippery, rendering the attack ineffective. The scales are too hard and slippery. It's no use. Crap. Moving in the water is way too hard. If you get bitten by these fish, your spiritual energy gets drained too. The riding wind martial sovereign only wants us to dodge. These are ancient man-eating demon fish. I know their weakness, sect leader, let me help you. A mere 10-direction death tower. You think you can suppress me? Sword, come. I can fly. Let's see you restrict me once I'm out of the water. First, the trial takers must not leave the trial sea. Second, I, the sovereigns, dislike weapons. Spiritual power stripping. Seriously, you. If you're that bad, wouldn't it be better just kneeling there quietly? It's not like I'll go around telling everyone you're a carried freeloading dog. Hey, you still alive? What were you about to say about the demon fish's weakness just now? Its weakness is... I really can't hold on any longer. If you had the energy to say all that nonsense, couldn't you just have told us the weakness directly? Even though the conditions are harsh. As long as we're careful, outrunning these monster fish isn't that hard. As the sect leader carried Xingchen and fled from the fish, he ran until they were a considerable distance away. Stopping, he turned back to look, only to see more fish emerging from the water, leaping toward them to attack. Zuiji's specialization is a bit extreme, but luckily he's tough-skinned. Still, under these conditions, Xian Yao won't be able to focus on breaking the formation either. Eastwood corresponds to Mao in the heavenly stems and earthly branches. The injury door matches Jin and the azure dragon of the 4 directions. Odd leads, even follows, derivatives turn into differentials, variables separate on each side, then integrate both sides. Too slow. What a mess. Xiao Mo's speed is insane. Even Li Fei can't keep up. The two of them told me they wanted to follow different, shameless paths. Xiao Enmo focusing purely on speed, and Li Fei focusing more on leg power. Meanwhile, at the Taishan Holy Land, the peak power of the so-called strongest sect, the All Time Sect, is truly impressive. It's just, they don't seem very serious. Senior sister, what do you think? Senior sister? This Su Xiaoma. He kind of reminds me of that dumb junior brother Goshing.